Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Team Slovakia. Starting in 4, number 3, Pavla Mandelikova. Number 4, Kristina Kapucevova. Number 5, Alexandra Matejčková. Number 9, Sofia Podoláková. Number 11, Zuzana Tomečková. Number 16, Emma Donovalová. Number 19, Bianca Boríková. Number 29, Lilila Ornická. Number 32, Vanessa Trková. Number 69, Laura Kabalova. Number 71, Livia Jednárova. Number 77, Alexandra Janovová. Number 88, Eva Lokošanová. Number 92, Nela Vajícová. Number 97, Jana Pavlíková. Defenseman. Number 6, Sofia Mapálková. Number 10, Nina Ševčíková. Number 14, Klára Macková. Number 15, Viktoria Cvejnová. Number 17, Emma Ševasová. Number 18, Laura Koperová. Number 41, Anna Benejová. And goalkeepers, number 2, Nina Pavlíčková. 31, Carmen Zdrafiová. Number 23, Sonia Čubániová. Please welcome team. Number 6, Emily Metz. Number 7, Sophie Kingsbury. Number 11, Isabel Brightmore. Number 12, Karla Walker. Number 18, Eve Sedler. Number 28, Daisy Google. Number 52, Jordan Snow. Number 5, Sophie Benson. Number 15, David Eastwood. Number 15, Alliance Army. Number 17, Nadia Molenda. Number 19, Molly Lehman. Number 23, Laura Sire. Number 26, Jasmine Friend. Number 38, Amy Kingsbury. Number 38, Vince Steer. Number 91, Rose Walker. Goalkeepers, number 25, Paul Bruce. Number 56, Liz Moore. Also, please welcome our referees, which are
Hello, hockey fans. Welcome back. Live coverage of the 2025 ISBHF Junior Ball Hockey Championships. In the women's division, Great Britain in white taking on the hometown Slovaks in blue. Both teams winless thus far. So at the end of this one, somebody's coming home with the W, and the other team will be 0-3. Very warm day here in Poprad, Slovakia. Definitely warm in the arena. Heat and fatigue might play a factor. I'm your play-by-play announcer, Chris Makonowitz. Thanks for joining us as Slovakia gains his own here early. In net for Great Britain, number 56, Scarlett Ward. As Slovakia leaves Nela Lapusanova all alone, rings the first shot off the pipe. Lapusanova, known as the Slovakian phenom, MVP of the 2023 Women's World Championships held in Liberec. Also a member of the Slovakian women's ice hockey national team, so Great Britain needs to shut one person down this game. It's certainly Lapusanova, but that hurts true for all the teams in this division. She's what you refer to as a generational talent. As Great Britain's able to get the clear here, they're going to get a line change. So Great Britain falling to United States in their opener, and then to Czech Republic as Slovakia turns it over, chipped in towards the Slovak zone. Good read on the play by Molly Lehman. Slovakia fell to the United States in their opener and then just got dismantled by Canada in the opening game of the day today. So this is their second game of the day. That's why I mentioned the heat here in the arena as the ball is redirected on net and into the back of the empty net by number 9, Sofia Podolikova. Well, unfortunate for Great Britain, but plenty of time left in the game here. As the Great Britain defender was sliding to try and break that play up, that was Taylor Walker. Just a split second too late. That's all it takes. You can see here on the replay, and nothing Ward could do on that. Appreciate all the fans back home in Great Britain who are watching right now. Large contingent supporting these amazing women here in the arena. Beautiful Poprad Ice Arena. As the puck is shot around by Sophie Kingsbury up to the point, intercepted by the Slovaks. Slovakia now with a little bit of space, save. Good solid positional goaltending by Ward as Great Britain carries it into the Slovak zone. Ball is dumped in deep, giving chase. Sophie Benson. Slovaks come away with it through the neutral zone. They don't have numbers here. Great Britain stick checks it away into the corner. Clean battle down low behind Ward, throws it out back towards the far corner. Picked up by Debnarova, centering attempt, ball's loose. Debnarova whacks at it, ball squirts through the crease. Good job by Ward not giving the Slovaks anything to look at there, as they're going to get some changes. Slovakia now in the Great Britain zone. Shot, save Ward. Slovakia getting a very late change behind the scenes here as Great Britain rattles it up around to the far boards. Ball sent back in, picked up by the Slovaks. Through the neutral zone. Center attempt went off of a foot. Vajkova has it along the boards. Back to the point. Chance of Slovensk goal breakout. Slovakia patient with the ball down low. Save Ward. Karams into the corner. Center attempt. Nobody there to receive it. Can Great Britain get the clear? They can. Do manage to poke check it away. But the Slovaks able to keep this one down deep in the near corner. Vajkova with it. Centering attempt. Goes all the way through to the far boards. Chip back up to the near boards now. And we got our first penalty of the game. The referee has signaled holding on Great Britain. They're going to be shorthanded. 10:27 remaining. Penalty to be on number 11, Isabel Pridmore. Doesn't seem too upset about it. Knows she committed the infraction, showing good sportsmanship. And as you can see on the replay there, certainly a clear holding for those fans not used to hockey as the shot gets deflected to the left of Ward. Certainly allowed to body check here in ball hockey up against the boards, but when it's against the player that doesn't have the ball on them, the referee's going to call that every time for holding. Back to the point, Lapusanova quarterbacking it, long shot. Good save, Great Britain rifles it up into their own bench, so the faceoff will stay down low. Ward has looked solid thus far. And since this is the first game I've called for the Great Britain fans back home, please don't mind the dead air as I am by myself up here in the commentary booth. I am doing my best to try and save my voice. I still have a lot of hockey left to call, so I'm not one of those announcers who just talks for the sake of talking. So don't feel like the microphone cut out or anything like that. Just trying to make sure I'm available to call all the games coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Slovakia patient with the ball here. Centering attempt, redirected. Not on net, and Great Britain's able to get the clear. They're going to get wholesale line changes, as we call it, back home in the States and in Canada. For those fans not used to hockey, when you hear the term wholesale line changes, it just means that all the players came off for a line change. We call it wholesale. Shot deflected up off the glass, picked up by the Slovaks. Centering attempt. Oh, Slovak player made a late change. Came in and kept that ball in. Long shot from the point. Redirected wide. 10 seconds left on the woman advantage. Slovakia, not many shots directly on net. That one made it through as Great Britain's going to be able to get the clear, and they have successfully killed the penalty. We're back to 5-on-5. Outstanding work by the Great Britain ladies. Ball along the corner, center attempt. Oh no, what a stop, Ward! Our best one of the day yet. Ball still loose, squirts out. Picked up by Cadence Deer. Has it sticked away by the Slovakian defender. Now back to the point. Center attempt there was read well by Ward, able to redirect it away. Another shot, another save. Had several big ones for Ward. Another save by Ward. She gets a round of applause from the ladies. As a goaltender myself, let me tell you, she made it look easy, but those are not easy saves.
Commercial break. Komerčná prestávka.
Especially with the heat being a factor in here. As you can see, Ward is still down. I think that's some sort of equipment issue, but when it's just you and the opposing player and you don't see any of your teammates around you, it's not the best feeling in the world, folks. Just keeping an eye on Ward here. She's getting a long drink of water. There is what I refer to as a minor heat wave going on right now, and at least here in Slovakia. So it's 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And in the arena, without the air conditioning on, certainly warm up top where I am. in the press box. Cooler down on the floor, but nonetheless, the heat and humidity are going to play a factor here. I should mention the temperature in Celsius. So 90 degrees Fahrenheit, what we use in America, 32.2 degrees Celsius. A long shot off the glove of Ward. Great Britain having some trouble getting this ball out of the zone. Shot, another save, Ward. Slovakia with it, walks it in. 2 more saves for Ward. Slovaks with it, down low, centering attempt, goes all the way through. Great Britain should be able to get a line change here. And that's going to end up as a flooring call. They're unable to beat the ball all the way down to the goal line. So the face-off will come back, back down deep into the Great Britain zone. You're familiar with ice hockey. Flooring in ball hockey is the same as icing in ice hockey. You're not allowed to make a line change if you have the team that committed the flooring, as we have a penalty being called now on number 11, Isabel Pridmore. 2 minutes for holding. Oh. Great Britain now on their 2nd penalty kill of the game. Face-off won by the Brits. Lobbed out. They'll be able to get the clear.
Time 8 minutes 57 seconds. Cheating Great Britain player number 11, penalty.
Dropped off by Lapusanova. Goes over to Mandalakova, sent back down towards Lapusanova. Back to Mandalakova. Long shot in. Blocker save, redirect. Oh, right over the crossbar. Lapusanova not happy with herself, missing that empty net. Lob towards Lapusanova, and she bats it out of midair into the net. Oh, what can you say, folks? You just don't see that a lot in ball hockey, someone with that level of hand-eye coordination, but that's what she's capable of. Nothing Great Britain did wrong on that play. That's just a great player making outstanding hockey play. That's why her nickname is the Slovakian Phenom. See if we get a look at it on the replay here, as you can see Lapusanova smiling. So there's the original shot that she missed. Went up over the crossbar. And here comes the lob, and nope, that's the shot. Went over the crossbar. Not getting a replay of the goal.
Time 9 minutes 20 seconds. Team Slovakia score by player number 88, Leva Lopusanova, assisted by player number 16, Emma Donovalova.
As a reminder, you can get live scoring in effect on stats.isbhf.com. There's a link directly to it from the website. You can also get live scoring and keep up on all the action by downloading the brand new ISBHF app from the Google or Apple Store. Shot goes wide. And since you're already watching here on YouTube, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. How about the ISBHF to attract sponsors so we can continue to put on these great tournaments for you? We are a nonprofit, so all revenue generated goes directly back into the sport. As Great Britain looking to get it clear here, they can't. Sent it down low towards Ward. She's just going to smother it. So the goals so far, Sofia Podolakova assisted by Lepnika, and then Lapusanova assisted by Donovalova. Slovakia gets their third. Nope, that's how quick it can happen off of a draw. Still good energy on the Great Britain bench. Not hanging their heads. See on the replay there, Ward's a little bit frustrated, but look, it's just a great pass. Player made a great play. These are world-class shooters, and all it takes is a little bit of space. So number 69, Laura Humble-Koval, will get credit for the goal on that. And just speaking frankly, Great Britain is a young program, right, in the sport of ball hockey. Slovakia's been doing this for the better part of 4 decades, so I don't think Great Britain has any misconceptions about what they're up against here with Slovakia, Czech Republic, Canada, and the United States being the 4 traditional powerhouses in the sport. But as part of developing any program, right, you have to learn, you have to grow, you have to get experience. So on behalf of everyone in the ISBHF family, believe me when I tell you, we're all very proud of the Great Britain ladies showing up and competing. And we hope that other countries follow their model so that we can get a B division going where Great Britain can play against other ladies that are more in line with their particular skill level, right? As Ward makes the save and is steered towards the rebound, steered towards the corner off the rebound. Just speaking plainly, nobody likes to see blowouts. It's not enjoyable for either team. And the ISBHF would love nothing more than to see 3 other countries that have skill sets equal to Great Britain, as Slovakia gets their 4th, show up and join in the B division. And that's one of the main goals here at the ISBHF, try and continue to grow the game. So a long shot from the point, just redirected. And that's one of those things that these Great Britain ladies will learn, right? It's body positioning. So one of the things you don't want to do, I'm a goaltender, but I also play defense. You don't want to leave a player between yourself and your goalkeeper on long shots like that. You want to make sure that you're right next to the player or you are between the attacking player and your goalkeeper, because if there's a rebound, you want to make sure that you can use your body position to prevent the player from taking a swipe at the ball, but also you can stick lift them from behind so that they can't redirect the ball like you saw on that 4th goal. And that's just a learning experience. Ball flipped up in front, then headbutted. That should not count. Signaling that they headbutted the ball intentionally into the goal. And the coach may come over and ask for a coach's challenge on that. I could be wrong, unless the rules have changed. Do not believe you're allowed to headbutt the ball into the goal. Well, it is allowed. I stand corrected. So I'm on my phone right now, and I've just searched the phrase, can you headbutt the puck into the net in hockey? It's not allowed. Certainly looked like the player directed it with their head from up here, but in fairness to the referees, I never criticize them. I always say they have the hardest job in all the tournaments. This game is so fast as Kusanova scores her 2nd of the game. It may have looked to me like the player redirected it with their head, but she might have missed, and the ball could have bounced off of her chest and rolled into the back of the net, and that certainly would count. And that's why the Great Britain coach asked for an explanation. So I would imagine that that's what the case was, even though we didn't see that on replay. But in hockey, You're not allowed to kick the ball or headbutt the ball into the net. And so with Lapusanova, again, she's just tough to stop, right? She's clearly the best player in the entire tournament, and making it look easy. It's just a learning experience for these young ladies. And again, we appreciate them coming here. As Great Britain is still talking to the referee. And as they've done in previous tournaments at different age levels, they'll take this as a learning experience and go back and continue to build the program, right? You have to start somewhere. And I can, again, speak plainly as an American. If the roles were reversed and this was European football, or as we call it back in the States, soccer, right? I'd be saying the same thing about Slovakia in comparison to Great Britain. Sure, England has their own team. I know Wales does, but maybe you folks play as Great Britain sometimes. I don't know. I'm not a European football fan, but I'm sure the roles would be reversed and they'd be saying the same thing about Slovakia, right? It's also different here in the sport of ball hockey. Slovakia, one of the 4 traditional powerhouses. Great Britain, an upcoming program. Just want to go out there, run hard, right? Battle for loose balls, do the best you can. Take that experience and get better for the next game. Again, I don't think Great Britain has any illusions about the talent differential between themselves and the other 4 teams in the tournament. But I can tell you from firsthand experience, having been on many losing teams, it's not fun. Right? I'm not trying to dismiss this out of hand. It's not fun getting blown out. But if you go in with the right mentality and you just have an understanding, okay, this team has more talent than we do. We're probably going to lose the game, but that doesn't mean that I can't compete, play hard, and have fun. That's the right attitude that you want to have, and that's what these amazing young ladies are doing this week. We really appreciate it. Long shot from the point, batted down, sent out of the zone. But no flooring. Play is waved off. It's good play there by Jordan Troop. That's T-R-O-U-P. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correct. My last name is Bakanowicz, folks, so believe me, having a long Polish name, I beg your forgiveness and ask for your understanding. I know how frustrating it could be if you're rooting for one of these young women back home and I'm sitting here mispronouncing their last name. But the good news is Great Britain's about to go on the woman advantage here as the Slovakian player was just called for a penalty. See the whack there right on the shins. Well, just can't do that. That is a classic case of slashing. Referee caught it. She's going to spend 2 minutes in the penalty box. So for Great Britain, good hand-eye coordination there, batting that ball down, getting a shot on net. That was the first quality scoring chance. All right, try to work on the power play. Move the ball around, make good passes, and see if you can get a couple of shots on net. Good job there breaking up the play by Emily Benson. There's 2 Bensons listed, Sophie Benson, number 5, and Emily Benson, number 6. I don't know if they're related. Ball ends up off of a Great Britain player onto the stick of the Slovakian team and carry it into the zone. Shot gets deflected, Ward with the save. So what Great Britain should be doing here, what we say in hockey, right, is get 2 on the ball, okay? You have 1 more player on the floor than Slovakia does, so when the ball is in your zone and the opposing team is trying to kill the clock by holding the ball up against the board, you'll often hear people yell, get 2, get 2. That means get 2 of your own players to attack that single player because you're not going to lose the woman advantage. So that's the end of the first period. There's a 10-minute break between periods. We will see you back here for start of the second period. Slovakia up 6-0 against Great Britain.
Jak říkal můj kolega Daniel Barila na komentátorském stanovišti, slovenská reprezentace žen do 20 let vede nad Velkou Británií 6-0. Já mám tady u mikrofonu kapitánku týmu Emily Benson. So, following 6-0 during the first period, I have Great Britain captain here, number 6, Emily Benson. So, Emily, this is your first game here in Zimní stadion Města Poprad. How does it feel to be in the arena like this?
It's very hot. It's a lot of humidity in here, but it's nice with the atmosphere and everyone cheering on.
This is your second tournament for the U20 or U21 category back in Liberec 2023. What do you think is the biggest difference between the team 2 years ago and a team that is playing right now in this championship?
We have a lot of new, younger players that are coming through the system, so it's still trying to help them through and progress.
Thank you very much. Tak kapitánku britského týmu jsme se zeptali na to, jaký to vlastně je hrát v takové aréně, jako je tato. Velká Británie, připomínám, hraje tady svůj první zápas na této velké hale. Říkala, že je to neuvěřitelný pocit, že na rozdíl od toho stadionu, kde na rozdíl té druhé arény je to obrovský rozdíl, je tady sice horko, říkala, ale všechny týmy to mají stejný. A na druhou otázku, jaký je ten rozdíl mezi týmem letos a tím týmem do 21 let, který hrál na mistrovství světa v Liberci, je ten, že ten tým Velké Británie nabral spoustu mladých hráček, spoustu nových hráček a je tam prostě ta mladá dravá energie.
Welcome back, start of the second period here. Slovakia leading Great Britain 6-0. And there is 40 seconds left on the woman advantage for Great Britain. So I did manage to have a chat with our technical director, Andrei Nemchek, who ultimately the referees report up through. Headbutting is not allowed in ball hockey for scoring a goal. It's the same as kicking. You're not allowed to intentionally redirect the ball into the net with your foot or your head, as that shot gets swallowed up by Ward. So my only explanation then would be the referee were not in position to say it was intentional, meaning from their vantage point, they may have said to the Great Britain team, well, I saw the head move, but I did not see the ball directly going off the head. So be that as it may, the goal stands, whether or not it should have. As we like to say in America, that's neither here nor there at this point. But back to the action, 10 seconds left on the woman advantage. Ball sent in deep, Great Britain looking to corral it up. Knocked down at the point, chip forward into the Slovak zone. So the penalty is over. I did also get some clarifications on the names for all of the Great Britain players, so barring any mental miscues on my part, there should be no more mispronunciation of the last names. And Sophie and Emily Benson are related, they're sisters, so for the fans of Sophie and Emily watching back home, always nice to have a pair out there playing, isn't it? As number 5 for Great Britain, speak of the devil, Sophie Benson's going to go off into the penalty box for 2 minutes for tripping, which you saw on the replay. Great Britain will be shorthanded. Another rule I want to clarify for the non-hockey fans at home. Slovakia is up 6-0, right? And yesterday the Czech Republic beat Great Britain 17-0. You may say, well, that's poor sportsmanship. Why are you running up the score? There is a tiebreaker at these tournaments called goal differential, and that is simply the difference between the number of goals you scored versus the number of goals you allowed. So if you imagine that between Canada, Slovakia, the Czech Republic, and the United States, if they were to end up with 2 or more teams tied for first place, tiebreaker would be goal differential. That's why teams continue to attack the net when clearly, right, I'll just be frank, when the game is out of hand, right, it's 10-0. Why are you still shooting the ball on net? That's why it happens at every tournament. I will tell you my personal opinion, so I don't have a color commentator here in the booth. I don't like that as a rule. I would like to see that change, but all I can do is voice my displeasure with it to technical director and my personal friend, Mr. Andrei Nemchek. And hopefully maybe someday while we're at one of these tournaments, that rule will be revisited. But for now, it still stands as Slovakia makes it 7-0 on the woman advantage. You see here on the replay, ball was just flipped out in front, and absolutely nothing Ward could do. Good job by number 10, Nina Sevchikova, putting that in the back of the net. And again, for the Great Britain fans listening at home, I know I'm speaking to an English audience here, right? Because we have a dual broadcast set up, so the Slovakians are not listening to this unless they speak English. And in addition to Slovak, and they chose to listen to me. So I'm speaking directly to the fans back home in Great Britain that are watching, right? Nobody wants to see blowouts. And we really appreciate everything that the Great Britain ball hockey family has done to allow these women a chance to just come here and compete, right? You got to start somewhere. And even last year when I was at the Legends in Edmonton and the Masters in Buffalo, you know, there were blowouts there, but the teams say the same thing. We're very happy to be here. We love being able to come out and compete and being afforded the opportunity to let our players come out and experience a world championship. Like, let's not lose sight of the fact that this is a world championship. These are the best players in the world. So try and focus on the positives, right? As that one is redirected just wide of the net. Good center attempt off the stick of number 29, Lily Laura Lipnicka. Ball squirts up to the far boards. Sent back down behind the net, in front. Redirected away, never made it through to Ward, who has been solid in this game. She hasn't made any mistakes. She's been tremendous. Slovakia able to keep that ball in, sticked aside by Ward. Great Britain takes possession, rattled up towards the near boards, just below the Slovak bench, and Great Britain able to get that out of the zone. So this is second period. This is what we call the long change period. And what that means in hockey parlance is you have to run a long way to the bench, longer than in the first and third period, to get a line change. So it's just referred to colloquially as the long change period. And one thing you'll often hear coaches say is to remind their players, right? Long change, long change. It means if you feel yourself getting tired, it's better to come off earlier than later, because you can end up getting trapped inside your own zone, as we're going to get a call here by the referee. Looks like it's going to be matching minors against Slovakia and Great Britain. So matching minors just means that both players are going to be assessed a penalty. Cross-checking on Slovakia and then roughing on Great Britain. And that's what those hand signals are by the referee. And here in ball hockey, when you have matching minors, should be 4-on-4, but they're saying it's 5-on-5. Well, I don't know, maybe the rules have changed. I thought it was supposed to be 4-on-4, but that may be different for the women's division. My apologies. I guess your humble play-by-play announcer and promotions director needs to brush up on his rules, which I'll have to go download from the ISBHF website, and you can as well. Our rule book is available in PDF format. Shot off the glove of Ward, good positional save, and she's just going to go ahead and smother that. Ball squirts loose, picked up by Great Britain. Trying to get the ball out of the zone. They do. Slovakia with it now, back in the Great Britain zone. Ball rolls all the way down. We're going to get a flooring call. So the face-off will come back down deep into the Great Britain zone. Slovak ladies having a bit of a discussion there on the floor. As you can see, some of the fans in attendance here for Slovakia. Nice shot of the Great Britain bench. See the goaltender standing there with her helmet on. So the other Great Britain goaltender is Holly Brooks. She may be coming in relief, which you often see In games like this, you want to give players as much experience as possible. Does not mean that Scarlett Ward did anything wrong or that she's playing poorly. It's just a question of, it's a young team and you want to try and give your players experience. Lapusanova shot, save Ward. Good job taking an extra step in her crease to cut down the angle of the shot as that one goes in the back of the net. Nothing Ward can do. It's what we refer to as a bang-bang play. A nice quick pass through the crease, right onto the stick of the streaking Slovakian attacker. And you can see on the replay, she did not have to corral the ball and try and possess it and control it on her stick. She was able to one-time it right to the back of the net. So 8-0 Slovakia. Center attempt to Lapusanova. Great Britain pokes it away. Chipped out of the zone. Slovakia sends it back towards the zone, but that was a good play by Caitlin Eastwood for Great Britain. Almost had herself a breakaway. Centering attempt, stuffed by Ward. Behind the net. So what Great Britain can do a little bit better is when Slovakia goes behind the net, they need to try and force that player to the boards. Just like you saw there, you do not want to give the players space as that goes off the post. Still loose. Ward able to get a whistle. So and again, I'm speaking to people that do not watch hockey very frequently. You don't want to give players space behind your goaltender's crease because they can make passes into a scoring area. So one area of improvement, which I'm sure the Great Britain coaches will try and focus on with the ladies, is if you see a Slovakian player back behind the net, try and go back there and make a play against her. Body that player into the boards. Put your stick in the passing lane. Don't give them space. As you see a shot of the Slovak bench.
Play under review.
Okay, so the play is under review, but the referee dropped the ball, so there's going to be a whistle here. That's the Slovakian bench signaling to the other referee that the play is under review. Well, miscommunication here on the part of the referees. I'm sure that technical director Andrei Nemchak and referee-in-chief Michael Wavi will get that cleaned up. It happens from time to time, folks. You can see the referee there on the screen looking a little confused herself. Nobody's perfect, right? That's why they put erasers on pencils, as my brother Mike likes to say. If I had to take a guess, because I've been involved in this sport now for over 3 decades, I would guess that they're trying to determine whether or not the ball actually crossed the line after that shot went off the post, because there was a scramble in front of Ward, and that's probably what they're looking at. I don't imagine that there was anything else in question. And since I'm talking again to an English-speaking audience, if it's any consolation for Great Britain in terms of, well, you're down 8-0. Earlier today, Canada effectively did the same thing to Slovakia that you're seeing Slovakia do to the Great Britain women here. They ended up beating Slovakia 8-1, and believe me when I tell you, the game was not as close as 8-1. Canada was in full control throughout that entire game. The referees are talking to each other now. And I only say that, right, because, again, you're a young program. You have these young women that made the trip here. Nobody likes to see blowouts, but you're not the only team that it happens to. You know, the United States, they lost 9-2 to the Czech Republic. You know, sometimes games just get away from you. So just speaking frankly again, right, don't feel so bad. You know, it's a good learning experience for these young women, and they will use this experience, right, to build an even better program going forward. As we get a whistle here. So Great Britain is going to get a line change. Slovakia has the ball in their own zone, looking to make a breakout here. So what Great Britain needs to do is just get a little bit less space between themselves and the attacking players. So for number 12 there, she would have been better off taking a couple more steps to her left to decrease the distance with her stick between herself and the Slovakian player. And if you ever get into watching NHL games, sometimes you hear certain color commentators, when they analyze the game, talk about spacing, right? It's very important from a defensive point of view. And I'm sure it's important in European soccer, right? Like I said, I don't know the first thing about European football. I've never played a game. It's not a sport I've gotten into, but I'm sure at some point during the game, the coaches are probably telling the defenders, you need to be a little bit closer to your man, or for a woman, a little bit closer to your woman, right? The attacking player. It's generally the same concept in hockey, just the difference is you have, right, a 4-foot, 5-foot, you know, in some cases 6-foot long stick in your hand that you can use to close the distance. Face off down deep in the Slovak zone, picked up by Slovakia, chipped up along the boards, kept in by Great Britain. Good read on the play by Yves Sadler. Still battling. Sadler trying to keep that ball in the zone. Slovakia now gets it out, but Sadler still digging, working hard. Hey, credit to Sadler. A lot of fight in that young lady. As the ball goes all the way down deep into the Slovakian zone, we get another flooring call. Okay, referee ready for the draw. It's dropped, taken back by Slovakia. Player fans on the shot. Ball's chipped up out of the zone. As number 91, Madison Rose Walker, doing a good job on the forecheck. And we get a whistle as the ball squirted up. Probably bounced off of one of the Great Britain players on the bench. Okay, we're back from our television timeout. Slovakia looking to gain the Great Britain blue line. They do. Good stick work. Slovakian player still down. So the referee has discretion here when there's a player down as to whether or not they can blow the whistle to stop play. Player safety paramount here above all else with the officials. Everybody showed up here in one piece, and the officials certainly want to make sure everybody goes home in one piece. As you can see on the play there, player took a hard fall. Emily Benson there from Great Britain, the other lady that took a fall. Okay, so the referees have changed the face-off location after some discussion. It's coming out to the neutral zone. So Slovakia will need to regain the blue line of Great Britain, which they do. Lapusanova with it, drops it off. Slovakian player fanned on it, and the ball is kept in at the red line. Sent all the way back in. Lapusanova giving chase. Centering attempt onto the stick of Lapusanova. She turns around and backhands it in over the shoulder of Ward. And again, she's the best player in the world. Okay, there's nothing anybody can do about that. That's just a great player making a great shot, right? One player I know from European football, right? David Beckham. I'm sure all you Great Britain fans at home have seen him do similar things, just make a ridiculous play, right? I believe they made a movie or TV show, Bend It Like Beckham. I'm sure he must have been one heck of a player for him to make a movie about it. And I'm not saying Nela Lapusanova is on par with the skill level of David Beckham relative to hockey and soccer. I'm just saying. See a great player make a great play. Sometimes you just got to tip your cap. As Ward is able to get a pad on that and stuff it. Smart move. So we get a whistle here. Looks like Lapusanova went down. We're going to get a penalty. Couldn't see it from my vantage point up here in the booth. I have 3 cameras directly below me. It's very difficult to see into that corner. Maybe I'll see it on the replay here. Well, yeah, she got tripped, so. Great Britain will be shorthanded with 4:44 remaining here in the second period. And listen, there's a concept in hockey that we talk about when it comes to penalties called hockey value. Does a play where you take a penalty have hockey value, right? Does it make sense to take that penalty? For number 7 there for Great Britain, Sophie Kingsbury, that's a penalty that has hockey value, right? Lapusanova had made a nice move against you. She was about to turn and walk in on your goaltender from the side of the boards. You know she's capable of making outstanding passes. It's probably a good idea to trip her there and prevent Slovakia from getting a scoring chance and take your chances on the penalty kill here, as opposed to letting someone of her caliber just walk in alone on your goaltender. So that's a good example of, again, it's called hockey value. Is there hockey value in the penalty as Ward makes another save? As a reminder, folks, you can get live scoring in effect on stats.isbhf.com. You can also download the brand new ISBHF app available on the Google and Apple stores. And of course, since you're already watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button. Don't make your humble promotions director beg for subscribers. As I mentioned before, any ad revenue we can generate through YouTube will go directly back into these World Championships. The ISBHF is a registered nonprofit, so all the monies that we get go back into the programs and help us put on even better World Championships. Come a long way in the 30+ years the ISBHF. Or pardon me, not 30+, it'll be 30 years next week from the first World Championship in '96. The 20+ years we've been around. If you would have asked me 5 years ago, would we see live streaming on our YouTube channel, I might have said, well, I don't know, maybe in 10 years. But here we are. So credit to the amazing staff we have at the ISBHF. Of course, it starts at the top with President Elio Pascuzzo, our media director, Jan Havel, social media director, Declan Moffitt, and of course, the man who makes it all happen, executive director, David Torr. Man I like to call a friend. Always willing to go the extra mile, all of them. Always willing to do what it takes to work with the tournament organizing committee and the host cities to put on these fantastic World Championships so that you, the fans at home, can enjoy. These players can have a chance to compete against the other players that are the best in the world. So the penalty is over. Good job for Great Britain killing the penalty. Centering attempt goes all the way through the crease. Nobody there from Slovakia to pick it up back to the point. Great Britain with a late change here. That shot goes high off the glass. Somehow skirts out in front, batted down by the Slovaks off of a foot. Good job there by number 38, Amy Kingsbury, blocking that shot with her foot. Centering attempt, redirected, poke checked away towards the corner. Sent back towards the far corner. So as an example, right now, the Great Britain defender should be moving more towards the Slovak lady, right? You don't want to give her space to just make a pass. It's even strength, it's 5-on-5. And that's just a learning lesson, right? Just that's what she should do. See how she's bodying the player off the ball, right? Perfect example of what I was talking about earlier. Don't give players space along the boards. We're going to get a penalty here. Well, maybe we're not going to get a penalty. What was the whistle for? Referees go over to discuss it. Folks, I am as confused as you are. I don't know why the whistle was blown. I didn't see the referee make any signal. Maybe the ball, I don't know, was kicked? I don't know. But onwards and upwards, right? I can't sit up here and try and guess what's going through the referee's head as that shot is steered aside by Ward. With 1:22 remaining in the second period. Another save. Trapped under the pad. Referee blows the play. We'll get a face-off down deep in the Great Britain zone. Oh, ball squirts free. Backhander blocked. I think Ward got a stick on that. Outstanding save. Way to recover. Slovakia trying to wheel and deal their way through traffic. Can't. Batted down. Last minute to play in the period. Slovakia still with the ball on net. Steered to the back by Ward. Towards the near boards. Good job on the part of Eve Sadler, playing the body well there. That's what you want to do, but we're going to get a penalty now. The referee has her hand up. As the ball's still loose. And we're going to get a hooking call against Great Britain. As soon as that player turns around, I'll let you know who it's against with 30 seconds left. Player number 18, so that's on Eve Sadler. And for those not familiar with the rules of hockey, the penalty hooking is basically when you take your stick and you use it to impede the progress of another player. It doesn't need to be forceful enough to cause that player to turn around, but if you imagine an old vaudeville show where they would have a giant cane come out and pull the person off the stage, right? It's a similar concept, hooking, right? You're using your stick to impede the progress of another player. Long shot from the point. Poke checked. Gonna make it out of the zone. So that should do it for the period here with just 7 seconds left. Long shot from Lapusanova, goes wide. And that's actually a flooring because she was behind the red line. Lapusanova now tied as tournament leading scorer with 9 points. Several of the Czech players have 9 points as well. Faceoff will come down low into the Slovak zone. Taken by the Slovaks and lobbed out, so that'll do it for the period. We will see you back here in 10 minutes for the start of the third and final period. Slovakia leading Great Britain 9-0.
Second period of the World Junior Ball Hockey Championships game between teams Great Britain and Slovakia is Team Great Britain 0, Team Slovakia 9. Skončila sa druhá tretina stretnutia majstrovstiev sveta juniorov medzi týmami Veľká Británia a Slovensko za stavu 0-9.
Vážení priatelia, po druhej tretine zápasu vyhráva naša reprezentácia junioriek nad Veľkou Britániou 9-0. Ja mám po svojej lavici autorku 3 asistencií na 3 góly na Lidla Pušanovej, krídelničku našej prvej formácie Emu Donovalovu. Ema, tak čo? Môžeme ťa označiť za dvornú nahrávačku, teda našej superstar Nele?
Tak neviem, či úplne dvornú, ale tak snažili sme sa takéto niečo aj nacvičiť pre turnaj, sme mali chvíľočku, tak sme si nacvičili tieto nahrávačky, tieto lobby. Tak sme sa to nejako pokúsili spraviť a myslím si, že každý by nahral tej Nele, alebo takto, ako to vyjde, tak to vyjde.
Určite bavíte fanúšikov takýmito lobikmi, vlastne 2 góly ste z toho strelili, hlavne ten prvý Nelin bol exportný po tej tvojej nahrávke takým veľkým lobom. Ja sa spýtam ale iné, si prvýkrát na majstrovstvách sveta v hokejbale, ja viem, že dlhodobo hrávaš hokej, ale si z takej hokejbalovej rodiny, však aj tvoj brat je úspešný brankár, tak ako to vidíš pri tvojej premiére na hokejbalových majstrovstvách sveta?
Tak ja som sa sem veľmi tešila a úplne som rada, že je to ešte na Slovensku, čiže to je ešte dvojnásobná radosť. A tak je to pravda, že akože mám dlhšie ten hokejbal, ale nevenovala som sa úplne tomu, teraz to má prvá premiéra a tak hádam, nesklamem a bude to dobré.
Myslím si, že zatiaľ nás prvá formácia Slovenska nesklamala, naozaj ťahá nás aj bodovo. Aj keď teda ten ranný zápas proti Kanade dopadol nie veľmi šťastne, aj výsledkovo to bolo zle. Teraz si však ale môžete napraviť chuť. A ja sa chcem spýtať, ako idete zajtra do toho záverečného zápasu základnej skupiny a asi sa už budete chystať aj na to semifinále, pravdepodobne to nevíde na prvé miesto v skupine, tak aké sú plány na záver tohto turnaja?
Tak určite tento deň zahodiť za hlavu, aj keď vlastne možno vyhráme proti tej Británii, tak to zahodiť za hlavu a nastaviť sa úplne inak, lebo to bude náročnejší zápas. A nezlaknúť sa hneď tú prvú tretinu, nezačať tak ako s Kanadou a viacej ich napádať a dať tie góly.
Ďakujem veľmi pekne. Drahí fanúšikovia, my vám veľmi pekne ďakujeme za podporu a príďte podporiť naše juniorky a juniorov aj sem do Popradu, ak máte cestu okolo. Ďakujem.
We are back. Start of the third period about to happen here in beautiful Poprad, Slovakia. Hometown team in blue, Slovakia, leading Great Britain in white. Score 9-0 as Lapusanova walks in. Centering attempt. And Slovakia goes up 10-0 as Great Britain has made a goaltending change. After the outstanding play from Scarlett Ward in net is number 25, Holly Brooks. And as you heard me say with many of the goals that Slovakia has scored already, there's nothing Holly Brooks can do on that. She didn't make any mistakes. That's just a great player. Lapusanova making a great play. She is now in sole possession of the #1 spot for tournament leading scorer by virtue of that assist. And you can see that Holly did everything she could, dove across the net, but ball's already behind her right before she could even get her glove down on the ground. So nothing you can do with stuff like that, right? You know, great players just make great plays. As Lapusanova comes in again, another centering attempt, and similar to the last play, right? Goes in the back of the net, so Slovakia up 11-0. And I just want to talk about what I mentioned earlier in the second period. Like, why is Slovakia still putting the ball on net, right? You may think, well, that's bad sportsmanship, that sort of thing. There is a tiebreaker called goal differential. It's the difference between the number of goals you scored versus the number of goals you allowed. And if two or more teams are tied for a position in the final standings, goal differential may become a tiebreaker. So that's why that happens. It's not a question of sportsmanship, believe me. Nobody in the ISBHF family wants to see blowouts. Nobody is disrespectful in terms of my country is better than your country and that sort of nonsense. It doesn't happen. These ladies are all very respectful of each other. They understand this is a world championship. It's nothing personal, right? They're just doing the best they can to follow the rules, as Brooks makes an outstanding save there on the one-time attempt. Nice shot on net there by Emma Donovalova. Picked up in the corner now by Lapusanova. There's a little bit of space, so good job by number 5, Sophie Benson, for collapsing down towards Lapusanova and forcing her to make the pass there. As we get a long shot from the point, easily sticked aside by Brooks. Shot, save, Brooks again. Battle in the corner. Slovakia with it now, comes out from behind the net. So what the Great Britain defender needs to do there, number 12, right, is just close the distance between her and the shooter. Good battle by Benson along the boards, wins it. Ends up putting the Slovakian player down. Good clean hockey. That's what you like to see. Slovakia regains the zone. Shot goes wide behind the net. Batted to the corner by Jordan Troop. Centering attempt goes nowhere. Now is shot down into the corner. Great Britain trying to get the ball out of the zone. They can't. Kept in at the point. Thrown towards the net. Redirected into the corner by Isabel Pridmore, known as Izzy by her teammates. And Great Britain is going to take a penalty there. So the call will probably be what's called boarding. You can't hit a player from behind basically when their numbers are facing the board like that. You can certainly battle for body position, but you can't. The simplest way to explain it, right, is to run into the back of the player. And so that's what we're going to get here. But again, these are all good lessons for these young ladies to learn. All right, you got to start somewhere. And as the Great Britain program develops and these ladies advance into the women's division, the young ladies that come up behind them will look up to these ladies for building the foundation upon which they're going to be able to play in future world championships. So the penalty is on Nadia Melenda. Ball is taken along the near boards. Slovaks with possession. Back to Lapusanova. Long wrist shot. I don't know if that was deflected or if it went in clean, but it certainly went in and out very quickly off the back bar. Lapusanova is either going to get an assist or the goal itself, and Slovakia goes up 12-0. See if we get a look on the replay if that was deflected or not. Well, we might not get a replay on that one as they're ready to drop the ball here, center floor. See who they give the goal to on stats.isbhf.com. So they give it to Lapusanova. As Slovakia takes the ball up through the neutral zone and gains the Great Britain zone. Slovakia with it. In the center, shot, save, stick to the corner. Good positional goaltending by Holly Brooks. Slovakia with it. Shot goes over the crossbar off the glass to the near boards. Centering attempt. Just out of reach of number 4, Kristina Taraksova. But back to Taraksova. She has a look at the net. Shot, save. Brooks can't get a glove on it. Now she does, so she'll take the whistle. Be a face-off down low in the Great Britain zone. 11:02 remaining here in the final period. Slovakia on their way to their first victory of the tournament. So Lapusanova now, that is her 4th goal on the day. She also has 4 assists as well, so an 8-point game. Long shot deflected off the back glass. Back to the point. Slovakia has it, throws it towards net, redirected wide. Ends up in the Slovak zone. So Great Britain goes on the forecheck now. Slovakia gains the Great Britain zone. Centering attempt. Good job by Laura Sire breaking up the play with her stick. Slovakia back in the Great Britain zone. Shot wide. Picked up by Alexandra Novova. And that's going to be a flooring call, so the faceoff will come all the way back down deep to the Great Britain zone. Looks like they're showing a replay of the last goal from Lapusanova. Yeah, you can see it. Brooks went down into the butterfly, but the ball had already bounced out of the net off of that shot. And I should explain for the fans that are not as familiar with hockey, when I say down into the butterfly, that's just the position that the goaltenders go into when they attempt to make a save. So if you go down into the butterfly, you drop to your knees with your knees together and basically form a V shape with your goalie pads. It's called the butterfly position. It's the most popular style of goaltending in hockey right now. All the NHL goaltenders play the butterfly. As that ball goes out of the zone, Slovaks are offsides. They regained the Great Britain zone. Chipped in by Lapusanova. Forced into the corner. Good job by Kingsbury. Lapusanova centering attempt. Nobody there. Picked up by Great Britain. Shot out of the zone. That's going to be a flooring call, so the faceoff will come back down deep. 8:42 remaining. And after this game, coming up here on day 2 at the World Junior Ball Hockey Championships in the U20 division, hometown Slovakian men taking on Switzerland in the U20 division for the men. Looking at the schedule tomorrow, first game of the day will be these Great Britain ladies taking on Team Canada, who took care of business against the Slovakian team earlier today, 9-1. As that one ends up in the back of the net, make it 13-0. Tomorrow, the busiest day of hockey here at Poparat Ice Arena. Got Great Britain and Canada ladies. Then it's the Swiss and Canadian men. After that, Slovak and the Czech women. And then after that, Canada and the U.S. women. After that, the marquee matchup of the day, Slovakia and the Czech Republic, the rivalry in the U20 men's division, and then finishing out the day will be Canada and the United States in the U20 men's division. So a lot of hockey left to be played before we head into the playoffs, semifinals, and then on Sunday, the medal games. Ball rattled around to the far boards. Taken by the Slovaks. Centering attempt off the side of the net. Centering attempt fanned on. Ball comes towards the Great Britain bench. Great Britain trying to clear it out of the zone. They do. Good hustle play by number 5, Sophie Benson. Slovakia regains the zone. Sticked aside by Brooks. Down low along the near boards. Centering attempt fanned on. Great Britain looking to get the clear. Chipped up towards the far boards. Great Britain cannot get it out. Slovakia keeps it in the zone. Centering attempt, poke checked away. Great Britain still trying to get the clear. Now they do. Good job reading the play there by number 6, Captain Emily Benson. But unfortunately, that was a flooring call. She'll have to come back out onto the floor. As I mentioned earlier, not allowed to make a change if you commit a flooring infraction. Long shot, blocked down. Great Britain looking to get the ball out of the zone. They can't. Kept in. But misplayed by Slovakia. Now Great Britain just floors it again, so the faceoff will come back down deep. No change allowed. Slovakia wins the faceoff. Back to the point. Long wrist shot. Down into the butterfly goes Holly Brooks. Makes the save. Swallows it up. And now Great Britain will be able to get that line change. See Sadler coming out along with Caitlin Eastwood. .641 remaining. Slovakia on their way to their first victory of the tournament, up 13-0. And we have, I believe, a television timeout. Back to the action. Slovakia down low. Great Britain intercepts. Rattles it up to the near boards. Face-off remains in the Great Britain zone. Great Britain with a chance to clear, kept in at the point by the Slovaks, walking it towards the net. Thrown towards net, intercepted. Batted off the glass by number 23, Laura Sire, kept in at the point, sent all the way around. Slovakia takes possession up in the neutral zone. Going to gain the Great Britain line. Sent in deep. Rattled all the way around to the near boards. Pusanova comes away with it, walking it in towards the net, trying to stick handle, makes the pass. Poke through the crease. Good stick work by Taylor Walker. Pusanova behind the net. Michigan attempt. It's blocked. Centering attempt down low off of a foot. Down under the butterfly. So a Michigan attempt, what Pusanova tried to do there. It's called the Michigan attempt because the first player to ever successfully do that was an ice hockey player from the University of Michigan. If you're behind the net and you take the puck or the ball and you put it on the blade of your stick and you make a lacrosse-like move from behind the net and stuff the ball into the net, that's called a Michigan. Feel free to Google that and you'll see plenty of examples of it. It's just considered a special type of goal in hockey. Redirected. Never made it through. Slovaks with it, centering attempt. Good save, Brooks. Shot, save, Brooks. Trapped it under her pad. It's a round of applause from the Great Britain fans in attendance. thrown towards center, picked up by Slovakia at the point, down low. Centering attempt, good save Brooks. Pad save. Centering onto Brooks, and she just swallows it up. 3:21 remaining. And we get a flooring infraction against Slovakia with 3:07 remaining. Face off down deep in the Slovak zone. Sent towards the net, just wide. Slovaks pick it up. Great Britain, good job on the forecheck there. Turnover onto the stick of Nadia Molenta. Ball's dumped in, but it's going to be a flooring again on Slovakia, so the faceoff will come back down deep into their zone. Picked up by the Slovaks off the draw, carrying it in all alone. Slovakia, shot, score. In hockey, that's what we call top shelf. You saw the water bottles get jostled. So that'll make it 14-0. And again, as you heard me say, see the water bottle get jostled there on the replay. As you've heard me say many times, right, throughout the broadcast, nothing for Great Britain to hang their heads about. You got to start somewhere in this sport, and our hope is eventually to get 3 other teams here that form a B division, so the ladies will have talent to compete against. It's more akin to their talent level. Battle behind Brooks. Great Britain comes away with it. Onto the stick of Kingsbury, but intercepted at the point by Slovakia. Centering attempt down low. Pad save. Clearing attempt. Good job chipping that out by Madison Rose Walker. Slovakia maintains it. Wrist shot goes wide. Still battling along the near boards. Great Britain trying to get it out of their zone. They do. And dumped in towards net. Great Britain hustling, but Slovakia able to win the foot race. Sent up to the near boards. Up to the center floor. Last minute of play in the game. Chipped out. Slovakia with possession. Long outlet pass. They gain the Great Britain zone, centering to Lapusanova. Well, Brooks made the initial save, and it looks like Lapusanova might have got her own rebound there. And again, right, it's 14-0. Why is Slovakia having breakaways? You know, where's the sportsmanship? It just goes back to goal differential, folks. Nobody wants to see this, right? It's not a good look. Certainly acknowledge that. I mean, I'm the promotions director for the ISBHF. It's my job to help promote the game. I don't want to see this. It's not fun for anybody. But I do want to commend the Great Britain program for sending these outstanding young ladies here to Poprad, Slovakia to compete with the 4 powerhouse nations. Got to start somewhere. Use it as a learning experience and build a foundation upon which the program will grow. As Pusanova threw that across the crease. Shot goes off the foot. 5 seconds left into the corner. That should do it. So congratulations to Slovakia, a final of 15-0. But congratulations to Great Britain. Hey, you showed up, you played hard, you ran hard, and your goaltenders were outstanding. Use the experience, learn from it, and continue to build the foundation upon which the ladies after you will come and play upon. So I will hang around for player of the game ceremonies. And it looks like Julius Saraz from the Slovak Ball Hockey Union will come out to present Player of the Game awards. Former Vice President and a veteran of many World Ball Hockey Championships himself.
The best player of Team Great Britain is player number 56, Scarlett Ward.
No surprise for Great Britain, Annette Minder-Ward. She was outstanding. Ward with a total of 16 saves. But most importantly, I mean, she must have faced probably 30 to 35 shot attempts. And for Slovakia, player number 10, Nina Sevčíková. That's how the Slovakian announcer just pronounced it. So congratulations to these young ladies. And again, appreciate all the fans of Great Britain tuning in back home. Know it's tough to watch these games, but hopefully you were entertained. And we'll see them again, right? Still got more hockey to play. I've been your play-by-play announcer and promotions director, Chris Pekanowicz. That'll do it for me. See you back here at 6 p.m. local time. U20 men's division, Switzerland taking on Slovakia. Have a good night, folks.
Scarlett, just want to ask you a little bit about the team spirit this week. Obviously, the matches haven't gone your guys' way, but I just love the positive energy on your bench throughout every single game. How do you ladies just keep up that energy and just have a positive attitude through every single game?
We just always work as a team. We're always like confident with each other and ourselves. We know what we're doing, how we're going to do it. We're just always talking and just making sure that we are staying really positive, even if things aren't going how we want. That positivity is just so amazing within our team.
Absolutely, and it's super fun to watch. So initially I was going to ask one of the players about how important you girls are to the team, but just like preparing for a tournament like this, obviously you and your partner have faced a lot of shots this week. What did you do to prepare for all of the action in your end?
Just so much training, dedicating time, effort, on court and off court, practicing every day, like hours a day, just making sure that I'm ready for what I'm going to be facing, what I'm expecting to be facing.
Absolutely. Scarlett, congratulations on player of the match and good luck the rest of the week. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
U mikrofonu po 15-gólové střelnici, kterou si slovenské hráčky otevřely. Tady mám hráčku utkání Ninu Ševčíkovou. Nino, zápas proti Velké Británii, řekněme, povinné vítězství. Nicméně, jak se udržet po celou tu dobu v koncentraci s takovýmto týmem?
Tak je to celkom dosť ťažké, podľa mňa, lebo každý sa nechá uniesť tým zápasom. Ale tak, povzbudzovali sme sa a povedali sme si to aj v šatni, že sa treba sústrediť. Lebo hociaký skrat môže spôsobiť aj to, že prehráme, čiže sme sa sústredili celý zápas na to.
Zítra vás čeká ostře sledované derby s českým výběrem. Co od Češek zítra čekat?
Tak isto čakáme, že to bude vyrovnaný zápas, ale veríme si, že to ideme proste vyhrať.
Díky, Nino. Slovenky teda po utkání 15:0 míří na vyhlížejí zítřejší zápas s českým výběrem. Určitě nečeká nic jednoduchého, proto si určitě zítra nalaďte YouTube kanál Mezinárodní hokejbalové federace, kde tento zápas se slovenským i anglickým komentářem uvidíte.
Čas.